Hey guys, it's me again, Workstar What Ifs. Where we last left off, let's see, checking. Sprite. Lemon. Anyways, where I last left off, give me a second real quick. Anyways, where I last left off, let's see, Deku and Ibara made it through the whole hostage taking at the church. They met Gran Torino. Gang Orca finally found Deku accidentally after he saw where Deku had made sure to take some of the fire from where the gangsters were shooting. He moved out of the way and ripped through his mask that he was wearing. He was thankful that it didn't actually hurt him and almost kill him in the face, since you know how that goes. But then he decided to. But as he was running away, Gang Orca saw him. And after Deku was able to persuade his way through the police, Gang Orca's like, "Stop that boy!" And Deku just decided to go into sewers. He was being chased by Gang Orca and Gran Torino, since Gran Torino, like I said, showed up. He was caught between the two, and so he kept on having to try and run away, kept on getting smacked in the back, and he was hit twice by Gang Orca's paralyzing move. And like I said before, Gang Orca was like, how tough is this kid? Because he's hit some pretty tough villains with that. They almost went down instantly. Deku took two of them and kept on trucking. And so he eventually gets out, runs around, is in the bad part of town, and is eventually able to get Gran Torino and sort of use him as a rock, throws him, and then he grabs a trash can and throws it again. Eventually able to get away because he climbs up a building. And so now, when he got home, he was told about what's happening with the gang meeting and how he's going to be there to look tough for one of the gangs. And then you got Gang Orca and them strategizing about how they're going to deal with this gang meeting going down. Did I miss anything? No. So as Deku's taking a day to recuperate, because it's literally the next day that's happening, that the gang meeting's happening. So he's literally just sleeping the entire day to get all healed up from the yesterday before. As they're alright. As Deku and them are so Deku, remember, or Killer, whatever you wish to call him, since they all have their own nickname for him. It's alright, listen, Killer. Remember, just keep quiet. Don't say anything to anyone, and you just gotta be there and look tough. Look, we even got something so you can hide your face a bit so nobody will know exactly who you are. It's okay. So remember what to. I got it. Keep head down and make sure nothing goes wrong. As he's sort of whispering, since they're getting closer to the area, they don't want to sound too strange. It's alright. So remember, Sludge, Looney, and we're not going to be far away. We're just going to be hanging around, just talking with everything. You're going to be up there with the big bosses, looking tough, and they're all going to be doing this, alright? They're all going to be trying to intimidate one another, and you're there to sort of... Excuse me. Now, we did say that you were there to try and look tough for one of them, but in all reality, you're there to keep everyone in line. So if one of them goes to reach for a gun, you smack that down. He's like, "Are you serious?" It's of course I'm serious. And it's why are you burping so much? Sorry, I had a soda. Man, they're good, especially root beer. It's I'm pretty sure they don't have those in Japan. It's I specially ordered them. He's really? He's yep. Deku's wonder. So he's UK. Remember, we're not too far away. Are you tired? He's I was up late last night, alright? He's doing what? Things. Adult things. Deku's just oh, what? If heroes show up, I don't know what to do if heroes show up. It's there's a sewer drain down by the thing. I can hide there. But they essentially got planned down what's going to happen when things are going to happen. So as Deku and them like arrive at the meeting, they finally get called in, and as the other three are taken as Looney, Looney, Jackster, and Sludge are taken elsewhere to like just like hang around. Deku is like, "Hey, follow me. The bosses want you this way." As he's like, "Now you know the rules, right?" As Deku's like, "Keep the peace." As he like does snarls and deepens his voice like I typically say. It's like, "Keep the peace." And oh God, why am I snarling? I watch too many things when it comes to freaking Killer Croc that it's just having me do the snarl every time. It sounds so fucking dumb. Ugh. Ensure nobody else kills. Someone else tries. As he just like sort of cracks his knuckle and snaps his jaw. It's like, yeah, except don't try to kill anybody. These guys are pretty, let's just say, powerful in the underworld. They want somebody dead, they'll have him dead. Deku says, "Not me. Kill anyone they send after." As he, like I said before, again, he sort of dumbs down his speech to make him seem dumber than he actually is. Now, this isn't actually, as far as I know, the real Killer Croc. This is just how I'm portraying him as, like, sort of being, since it's a Deku Killer Croc. So he is a mix between. So he still has Deku's quite a bit of his intelligence. Or at least intelligence when he was 15, which was actually, let's just say, considerate with his battle strategy. And I'll say he's still somewhat good at that. Not like Batman or something like level good, but he's just somewhat decent for someone his age. As they go about, as he's listening to this, as he gets a guy with a... Well, I don't think Overhaul is actually in this point yet. I do think Trigger's been around for a long while, though, in the My Hero world. So I'm going to say that you got other Yakuza members, but you don't have the old man and those people yet. Since Overhaul was forbade to do that for a long while. But you got Deku just standing there looking tough as a couple of the guys started getting antsy when nobody was talking. As like one of them was like, "Alright, so are we going to talk about this or what?" That's just like, "The heroes have been getting too cocky. They push in our territory and they're raiding more storehouses every day." As one like pops a cigarette, it's like, "Yeah, it's stupid. Can't even get anything done nowadays with All Might and the dang heroes around. Things used to be so much simpler." Like, yeah, for when we were much younger. As quite a few of these guys are older guys. Let's say around the time when All For One would be ruling the underworld. It's like, damn, it was so much easier when All For One was running the show. As Deku like looks at the one who said that, as the one was like, "Have you never heard of All For One?" That Deku's like, "No." He was the boogeyman of the undergrowth. No joke. Said he could steal and take quirks. It's like, fairy tale. As he's like, "Nah, it ain't no fairy tale there. What's your name?" "Killer Croc." It's like, "Alright, Croc. I saw it happen with my own eyes. A man who can harden his skin as hard as diamond. Try to get antsy when it came to All For One. When you know what he did?" As Deku just looks at him, shakes his head, walked up to him, picked him up by the face, zap, black lightning, then just tossed the guy aside like it was nothing. Trust me, All For One ain't no myth. It's just a question of where he is. Some of us think he's dead. A few others think All Might took him out and has him locked up somewhere. As a few of them were kind of loyalists to All For One. It's like, "The boss is alive, I know it. We just gotta wait and bide our time." As Deku's like, as he does just like trying to understand it all. And he's like, "Somebody who could take quirks. Now that would make him look like a nice guy. Not a nice guy. That would make him look like your friendly neighborhood milkman or something. He's just like, well. He says he didn't know which one. He doesn't know which one he would rather have. His ability, though he knows how he looks, he does love his ability because it's his. And he's like, also, I don't think that man could steal my quirk, so though he could probably still maybe kill me. And so Deku's like, As they're all talking about this, we'll cut over to a different place where you got a couple of vans going as they're coming around, pulling up, and you got a helicopter in the air. It's like, alright, everything seems to be getting into place. Seems like things just started a few minutes ago. Seems like they're hashing out deals, and holy shoot. As like, what's the deal? As they got a guy with a camera on top of a building, they got a big one. As Deku's like wearing his like coat and such, like a big thick coat that covers him pretty decently, and he's like, that dude's gotta be like 7 feet tall. Gang worker's like, you're exaggerating. Seems a bit smaller than me, but we'll see. It's like, Fat Gum, Gran Torino, you in positions? It's like, yeah, we are. What about Aizawa? He's like, Aizawa's in position. As they're like, alright. As he cracks his neck, he's like, everyone get set up. We'll breach in 30 minutes. As they don't want to strike it too quickly, they want to like get evidence and like see them bring out the goods that they think they're exchanging. As we get back to the conversation. So it's like, so what do you always want to do? You want to join into one Yakuza group or what? It's like, we know that would never work. He over there is too power hungry and I just don't like any of you. As he sets down his cup, he's like, doesn't matter if we like each other, one person's too power hungry. If they become too power hungry, we kill them. If they do their best for the group, we let them live. Simple as. As they say, alright then, what's on your agenda? He's like, I plan on getting out of here. Or not getting out of here. I plan on trying to see if I can raid some of the banks. And see if I can screw some of those other Yakuza groups over there in other, let's just say another side of Japan. Because at this point, they view it down as, we gotta look out for a city of Yakuzas. All of us unite together, do our job. That's how they've like fallen, is that they don't care about the entire wide thing, that they're saying we could just concentrate on ourselves, screw everybody else. He says, I moved to say that we start absorbing the little runs, the runt-like gangs in this city. See, we'll bolster our numbers and we'll probably find some decent quirks that could be used in our arsenals. As a few of them have, like, grudges against quirks since they made things so difficult, but they also know that they're a very valuable tool. It's like, hey, big man, what's your quirk? He's like, crocodile. He's like, really? And what's that? Getting the strength and other attributes of a crocodile. That's tougher than most of them, too. And it's like, you know, I think I heard a story once about, like, a crocodile named Gustav or something like that. Apparently, the guy was so hard to kill, they shot rockets at it and lived. Just a couple of guys like, bull crap. It's like, no, I'm serious. They shot it and they called him a demon. As Deku just laughed at that, Now, he would have been interesting to fight. Thought that they said it was like over 20 feet or something. Maybe wrong, though. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's real or not. But you gotta say you got a pretty tough quirk, right? It's like, yes. It's like, you okay there? It's like, throat's dry. It's like, alright, get some water. As like let's just say they have like a host there that they bring like a jug of water for him. He just drinks that whole thing down. He's like, thank you, appreciate it. As they all go back to the conversation, as Gran Torino and all of them are like, we're in position. You ready? He's like, Let's breach on 3. 3, 2, 1. As they say breach, got guys jumping in through the windows up above. You got a helicopter, and as people look up, Deku like hears something real quick, looks up, he's like, "Oh God, it's the feds!" As then the crashing aim, they see over where a bunch of metal doors are, an explosion happens in that blasts everything out. Deku's like, "Oh crud!" As he looks around and sees the sewage drain, it's like, as they're like, "Hey boy, take care of this! Everyone here's here!" As everyone's freaking out, but Deku like is like looking around as he sees Gang Orca and some very, very heavily armed police officers. As Deku's like, as he rips off like some railing and just throws it, like sort of spinning it like a boomerang. As it starts spinning and pretty much breaks through the police force. As Deku just roars as he jumps down. As the bosses are trying to get out of there, Deku like hears Looney screaming out to him, "Deku!" or "Little Croc!" So he looks over as she's like kicking a police officer in the gut and using like her ability to like spin around. Deku's like, ugh. And as he runs off to go help them, he smashes. This is like a warehouse. They got like tall things. What are they called? Like, let's just say giant shelves of stuff. As he knocks some of the stuff over, as it comes tumbling down on police and some of the Yakuza members. As he jumps up to Looney and them, is like, "All right, we gotta move. Where's that like sewer thing you said you saw? The police are already swarming over it. Ain't nothing we can do. All we can do is move." As he breaks through the wall, as he's like, oh, "Too many. I'm trying to do the voice. It's difficult. I'm sorry. Too many. Gang Orca there. Gran Torino there and Fatcom. And I think I see a ninja." What is that? As he's doing the voice now to intimidate, since they're fighting against the police. He's doing it to sound more intimidating, because I did tell you guys he does have a more normal voice. It's more along the lines of, "Time to go, time to go," instead of the "time to go." More guttural, I would say. As they're moving, he's like, "Lady, bash him apart. Sludge, trip him up. Jackster, start breaking through the dang floor." As he has them all jump down, as Jackster's like doing it, as he just starts bashing against the floor, like ding, ding, ding. Looney's just spinning around. She's like, "Little Croc, I'm starting to get dizzy." And he's like, "Then throw up on the police." As she does just that, as Deku's like, "I would not want to speed them. She had a big breakfast this morning." As Sludge is like using his sludge ability to like try and hold the people, as Deku's like, "Gang Orca sees us. Hurry up." As he takes a couple of the police officers and just chucks them at Gang Orca, as Looney's like, "Oof," as she trips and falls, she's like, "My quirk stopped." As Deku looks up, as he sees a man looking straight at her with his hair flowing up, and as Deku just grabs another police officer, he's like, "Catch!" and tosses him like so far. His eyes, I was like, "Oh crap!" As he catches the police officer and hits the wall a bit, he's like, "Ow!" As Gran Torino's blasting around the walls, he's like, as he sees Deku, as he like lands like a little bit away from Deku on one of the shelves, he's like, "You remember me, newbie?" Deku's like, "Old man." As he looks around, he's like, "Oh, overwhelming. Move out of the way, Jackster." As he sort of pushes Jackster, he's like, "What the?" As Deku takes his string and smashes down on the ground. See, he's able to create an opening large enough for Looney and them to get out of there. He's like, "Go, I'll hold." As they're about to bail, they're like, "Wait a second. Where's Sludge?" And Sludge had actually slipped away a little bit ago, thinking that, "Alright, I can come back for him later." Like, and besides, they're probably going to get out. As he actually took this opportunity to sort of take a little bit more for, the Yakuza, since he has had no problem. And Deku's like thinking about this. He's like, I should have known. Betrayer. As he gets loony and just Daxter, he's like, I think Sludge bailed. Move. He's like, alright. Who's first? As he's just going on a rampage, as he brings down the shelf that Gran Torino was on, just slams it down over the entrance. He's like, as Gran Torino's like, ooh, you're a feisty one. Still, kid, I'll still say this, kid, you do pretty well. As it goes like, as he just looks at line of police officers, starts rushing out, Gran Torino comes in like a bullet and just smashes Deku across the face with his like feet. As he blasts off him, as Deku's like, as he goes in to swipe at Gran Torino, he's immediately hit in the back by a couple of police officers trying to use tasers and such on him. He's like, get off me! As he smacks him away. As you got Gang Orca moving slowly, as he gets in front of the line of policemen, he's like, so, it's again you, Izuku. As he's like, he's looking around, knowing he doesn't have a good shot of getting out of here, so he's like, he just cracks his knuckle and like cracks his neck. He's like, come on. He rushes at Gang Orca, as Gang Orca just comes and uppercuts him, as Deku's like, as he felt something, as he felt like a couple of his fangs sort of like chip at that, he's like, comes in again and punched again. As then he waits a second as Gang Orca swings and Deku leans back as he misses and bites into his arm again. As I believe I had him do that before. As he bites into his arm, he's like, good job, kid. As Gang Orca does the thing with his sonic wave, as Deku's like, my eyes. As Deku feels the thing hit him again, he's like, this can't be good for my body. As he comes in and headbutts Gang Orca, he's like, that's what you get, prick. As Aizawa comes in and tries to wrap up Deku with his safety gear, as Deku goes to pull on him, but immediately a couple of police officers go in, like, grab onto the thing as everyone's pulling. As Aizawa actually, like, tried to run around him, like the speeder from Star Wars, and just trying to wrap him up. As all the police officers are doing that, Deku's like, get off me. As the police officers are trying to get, like, as they're, like, rushing forward, getting, like, cork canceling things on him, as Deku's just, like, shaking all around like he's a beast, like, being constrained. They're like, hit him with the trank darts! Hit him with the trank darts! As you get, like, 6 trank darts that are meant for, like... As there are people, like I said before, they got specialized trank darts for people with animal-like quirks. Like, I bet if you hit Gang Orca with a normal trank, I feel like it wouldn't do anything with him since he's more like an orca than anything. So I feel like if you hit him with, like, a normal person's, it wouldn't work. So they aim at his back, and a few of them, like, hit it, but they don't go through all the way since his skin's, like, really thick and tough. So, like, hit him in the front, you idiots! They go in the front and hit him quite a bit, as he's just, like, sort of being worn down, as he's like, He's, like, sort of doing that shaking, like, lazily swinging. As he falls to one knee, he's like, So he tries getting up one more time as Gang Orca's like, stay down, kid. Deku's like, no. As Gang Orca, like, gets a couple of cuffs and just slaps him on his wrist, on his arms, as Aizawa and Aldemir, like, as Deku was yanking them and throwing them around for quite a bit. As Deku's just like, as he just sort of falls over, as everyone's like, thank God. What is he made out of? As they all, like, get Deku and they sort of, like, get him, like, wrapped up, as they have to call, like, a larger policeman to come and take this one away to a special location. To where it's not Tartarus, but it is another highly advanced facility where they're housing him at the moment. As everyone's like regrouping, Looney and Jaxter have gone back to the house. They're like, where the hell is Sludge? As Sludge comes back, he's like, guess what, people? Guess how much I got? As they look at him, they're like, you idiot. We could have used your help back there. Like, what happens? Like, where's Deku? He's like, the kid's been taken. He's like, oh, that's not good. Oh, well. This stuff happens in this line of work. As it's like, what do you mean? Why are you acting like you don't care about him? He's like, I think the kid will be alright. We got a thing set up. And if you guys want to go get him, we'll go get him. As he like kicks his feet back, he's like, oh, technicality. He really has just been doing what we've been telling him to do to keep a roof over his head. So what? We're just going to stroll in there and try and get him out? And we're just going to stroll in there and give ourselves up and get him out? He's like, oh no, we're going to try and break him out most definitely. As he's like doing a thing with his nail, I was just making sure we have a bit of money just in case we have to flee the country. We probably do. So, what do you fellas want? So, how do you guys want to play this? As they're like, we got to figure out where he is, go from there. It's like, alright then. As he takes a drink, he's like, so how many did he take down before you guys had to bail out? He's like, oh, he took down well over a few dozen. Last time I checked, he was fighting like 3 heroes at once. As he's like, what? As soon as we went down, I heard roaring, smashing, clashing, and quite a few pain screams. And he's like, damn, I knew the kid was tough, but damn. Well, we're going to get him out, so as we cut back over to an interrogation room with Deku, like, hooked up with chains and such, he's like, always chained. Just an animal. Glad the other ones could get away, though. All that matters. As you get a police officer coming in, he's like, excuse me, may I have your name? He's like, Izuku. No, actually, he doesn't go with Izuku. He's like, Killer Croc. It's like, your hero. Not your hero. That's your villain name? As he was like, alright, what's your real name? It's like, you know what it is. Stay it for the record. Izuku Daniels. Well, not doing his normal voice. He's like, Izuku Daniels. He's like, alright. Would you please stand from that? As they get like his mugshot, this is happening before he's sitting in the chair. He gets in the mugshot. He's like, hate the brightness. He's like, yeah, that's what they all say. Now, take him to whatever you're taking him to. So you get a couple of heroes escorting him as they're like, not a couple. They get like 4 of them to escort him. He's like, there's just a couple of them are like, damn, he's big. He's like, almost as big as Gang Orca. It's like, what is he? What is the quirk? That's a bit insecure, you know. I was like, oh. He's like, I thought he couldn't hear us. He's like, I have an animal quirk. I'm not actually an animal. Bricks. Like, yeah, shut up, villain. Get in your cell. Like, actually, I want him in interrogation room 7. As I was like, as they start walking him there, like the prisoners that are around there, they look up at him like, what? He looks like he crawled out of hell. As they looks at him like, kicked out actually. As now that he's here, he's like, I gotta groom a sort of fearful not representation, a reputation here, so that way no one will mess with me. So he's like, make myself intimidating, as scary as possible, go from there. Pretty sure everyone's gonna come get me out soon anyways. Now we get to him here as he's chained up quite a bit. metal shackles on his legs are spread apart to the right next to his chair. He's got shackles not on the table but on the ground, but they're long enough so he can have it on the table like that, saying it like you would have your arms forward in front of you at the dinner table. As he's and they got him with a muzzle so that way he doesn't try to bite anyone like he did before. And this one is locked with a very good key, and it's made out of steel, so that way he could pry it off, but not like a wing. It would take him a couple 20 seconds to pry it completely off. It's annoyance. As you get the first one to come in, which is Fat Gum. As he's how you doing there? He's you want something to eat? As Deku's just points to his mask, he's sorry. It's so listen here, kid, we got a situation. Deku's alright, Grunter. Do you know anything about what was happening last night about the deal? He's no. Didn't care to listen. Just hired muscle. It's alright. He's did they talk of anything that piqued your interest? Nothing that concerns you. It's alright. Alright. Do you know of any groups that are selling trigger? As it was don't care for the stuff. Idiots take it. Then they die when they overdose. He's alright. And more so, they get innocent people caught in the crossfire. Ain't my style. Good, kid, good. Now let's continue on. Here we are. Your name is Izuku Midoriya's yeah. It's alright. You were the one responsible for attacking those children at the park some odd 4 years ago. David's little brats deserved it. He's explain to me why. As Deku just goes quiet, as he's just don't have to explain myself to you, hero. He's I got a friend that you may want to hear from. Is it your turn, Orca? As Deku's as he looks up at that, it's as he's always seems the kid's excited to see you. As Orca's As he comes in and has arms wrapping against his arm, he's Deku looks at what he did and just looks down. As he's It looks good. Again, looks can be deceiving. As he sits down, he's hello, Izuku. Or Killer Croc, which name do you prefer? Doesn't matter to me. As he's actually coughing, because he's trying to keep up the voice. It's you okay? He's throat's dry. He's Can I please have some... As he bring in some water for Izuku here. As they bring in a giant jug of water with a giant straw in it, as Deku just picks it up and is able to get through the bars, as he's just So, Deku, I'm not gonna be wrong. Izuku, I'm not gonna try and sugarcoat this or anything. You could be in deep trouble. Most likely, you go to prison, you get your life ruined. Maybe you get out on good behavior since we don't have all the crimes you've committed. But attacking those kids, their parents are most likely will want hell to pay. As Deku just nods, he's always were a bunch of spoiled brats. As he's yeah, I know, some kids are like that. Listen, I'm not going to say what you did was right, but I want to get your side of the story. Why did you do what you did? As Deku's thinking about it, he's I had a piece of metal
On my neck, then. You police took it.
It's like, yeah, I could have it here if you want. He's like,
Appreciate it.
so they bring it to him. As they give it to him, he's like,
This belonged to a nun I knew.
as he has it in her hands.
Josephine Daniels.
He's like, Josephine Daniels. Was she your...
Not my actual mother. No. No, sister. Only thing I have left of her. And they...
As he says, as he starts shaking.
'Cause I wouldn't bend or break. They wanted to break this. And I let loose.
As he sort of slumps back in his chair, like... Listen, Izuku. They sort of instigated, but what happened with you, that may not be able to be enough. As Deku nods his head, he's like,
I know.
It's like, so listen here. I may be able to help you out. As Deku just looks at him like,
Why would you do that for me? Just a no-good animal. That's what they all said.
It's like, cause as Gang Orca like says, I'm much like you, Deku. Look at us. You think I look like a hero? Deku's like,
No.
It's like, no, I don't. But what I do got is the heart of one. And I know that you lost it, and trust me, kid, I probably have been in similar shoes to you. It was like, you became a convict in the underground world and did jobs for great gangs. As he's like, I actually did. As Deku's like, he's like, I can help you, Deku. But that's only if you're willing to cooperate me in giving you help. As Deku's thinking about it, he's like, this is the chance. This is the chance we've been looking for. He's like,
What's the catch?
he's like, well, you gotta agree to come with me. As Deku's like, he's like, technically you're an orphan. I could adopt you legally, put you in the system, get everything sorted out. What does it sound like? As Deku's like, he's thinking around as he's like, this is the chance. And that's where I'm going to be ending this one off at. I hope you guys enjoy this. You guys continue to enjoy this, and sorry for the week long without a video. Thing is how we're kind of busy. Hope you guys have a nice